in light of how popular the other video I did on the Gwent AI cards was, I figured we would do the second one. We're talking about the gold cards. I gave ChatGPT more context this time to try and get a more even balance spread. If any of you watched the original video and saw the Northern Realm Shield Wall guy and saw the Arcane Scribe, you know what I'm talking about. So I tried to have... this time I made ChatGPT just focus on the after Homecoming Gwent cards, so no more Nilfgaard Alchemists, unfortunately. And also tried to make it so all the cards would be strong but balanced. And I asked it, and it said all these cards would be strong, but none of them would be too strong to be in the game. So with all that context, let's go see what we came up with this time. And we start off with Imperator Janus. Alright. 7 power, 11 provisions. Deploy, move an enemy unit to the opposite side and damage it by 2. If it's spying unit, damage it by 1. This is just seize an enemy unit and deal 2 damage to it. Let's see. Imperator Janus sees all, and all shall obey his command. His voice line is, obey or perish, the choice is yours. Okay. Well, that's pretty broken. Wait a minute. So we have it's just seize. Deploy, move an enemy unit to the opposite side, damage it by 2. It's seize with 2 damage. And if it's spying, it takes 1 less damage. Sure, whatever. Yeah, that's broken. Let's see what ChatGPT thought about it. Said the idea for Imperator Janus stemmed from his lore as a commanding figure in the Nilfgaardian faction. I don't know who Janus is. I think that ChatGPT made him up, honestly. If he did not make up Imperator Janus, let me know, please. But I do not recall an Imperator Janus. Known for his authority and ruthlessness, the concept focused on his ability to assert control in the battlefield by manipulating the enemy units. By manipulating, he means taking control of them. And his ability inflicts less damage to spying units to reflect leniency towards spies or individuals who align with his faction's interests. Like, that's actually kind of an interesting idea there. Only problem is 1 less damage doesn't mean anything. Maybe if he did, like, well, we'll talk about balancing later on. So overall, Imperator Janus would likely be considered a strong card in Gwent. Yep. Particularly within Nilfgaard. His ability to control the board and punish enemy units, combined with his thematic identity and power level. Yeah, that we'll talk about power level, all right. Making a valuable addition to every Nilfgaard deck. I doesn't say every Nilfgaard deck, but that's what this means. Yeah, this card's incredible. Let's go pop this guy on the little tier list. Alright, so on Tier Maker, what I did is we went back to the tier list from the other cards, from the other one. I figured we'll just add our cards to this list. I did move down, I think I moved up the, just because I misread him in the original analysis of the other video. I think it's probably playable, but not great. Since the row effect does do it on appears. It's probably still not great. We'll just leave it here. I think it's probably okay. Now, as far as Imperator Janus, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's essentially seize with 2 damage on deploy. It's amazing. Is that as good as Arcane Scribe's brokenness, where you just draw a special out of your deck for a 1 card advantage? I actually don't. It's not as good as Scribe, I don't think. Is it close on it? Is deploy seize that good? Obviously it is. I think it's too broken to not go in this tier. I think we actually need another tier here. Here's why. It's just Arcane Scribe is so incredibly broken that I think it needs to retain its own tier. But this Imperator Janus card is also broken. So I think I said this was broken in the other video. This is better. Like, way better. I think this needs its own tier. But yeah, this card's obviously OP. Just deploy, seize. Crazy. What's up next? Now, I'm kind of wondering at this point, because I told ChatGPT to make sure the cards were playable without being overpowered in the modern Gwent after Homecoming. Hopefully they didn't go too crazy with the effects here. I mean, to be fair, we're not getting bad cards like we did last time with that one, but let's go on to the next one and see. Forest Guardian. He's an elf guardian. That's not a tag, but whatever. We'll let it slide. 6 power, 11 provisions. Deploy, spawn a crushing trap and a pitfall trap on each side of this unit. Okay. So for clarification, I asked ChatGPT if this meant one crushing trap on the a crushing trap on one side and a pitfall trap on the other side for 2 total traps. It said no. It's making 4 traps, 2 crushing traps and 2 pitfall traps. Here's the thing. Obviously that's insane. 4 traps is crazy. But the opponent knows what the traps are, and they double trigger. So it's not actually as good as it seems at first glance. It's obviously way too strong, though. Like, 4 traps is ridiculous, especially with Eldain. So the next unit your opponent plays takes 10 damage from 2 incinerating traps. No, not incinerating trap. It says crushing and pitfall. Oh, okay. I thought it said incinerating. This is way better then. For some reason I thought incinerating. Crushing trap. Okay, so they're taking 4 damage to everything on a row, and then pitfall goes off twice on their next unit. If this is incinerating, obviously it wouldn't be quite as strong, because incinerating and pitfall are both countered by the same thing, playing a low provision unit. But I mean, the next unit your opponent takes, they take damage equal to double its provisions. So if they play a 4, they take 8 random damage, and then all their units on a row take 4 from the crushing trap, which is enough to wipe a lot of units. This card's OP. Well, let's see what it says. It'd be OP if it's 2 incinerating too, but it wouldn't be quite as crazy, because they kind of stack with the pitfall. The forest holds many secrets, and its guardians are ever watchful. Step lightly or face their wrath. Better step lightly if you want these going off. The forest is our home, and we will protect it at any cost. All right. The Forest Guardian. Let's see what ChatGPT had to say about it. The Forest Guardian's ability and stats are designed to capture the essence of Scoia'tael's affinity with nature and dedication to protecting their homeland, while providing players a powerful and versatile card for their decks. One thing I have to mention here is, at least in these first 2 cards, there's a lot. ChatGPT is doing a pretty good job of keeping within the in-faction synergies, right? Has Nilfgaard with spying and seas, in the tall seas. And right now we got Forest Guardian with the traps, and it's an elf. So I like that. At least it kind of got the faction synergy stuff going. The Forest Guardian would likely be considered a strong card in Gwent, particularly within trap-focused Scoia'tael decks. You think? It makes 4 traps, buddy. Its ability to spawn traps to provide immediate value with a 6 power, combined with its thematic coherence and synergy with the Scoia'tael's mechanics, making it a valuable addition to Scoia'tael strategies. It actually would be quite a good addition. And obviously, once again, this card is broken. Okay. I really hope all the cards aren't broken, because that would really wouldn't be as fun. I want them to be at various power levels. I specifically asked ChatGPT not to make them too strong this time, but also not to make them weak. I definitely got the not make them weak part so far, but we'll see about the rest. Next up, we have Yara Ul the Mighty, 6 power, 11 provisions. Again, ChatGPT really seems to like this stat line for a gold card. Human Warrior. Hey, we got tags that work. Move a bronze Skellige unit from your deck to the graveyard, then boost self by its base power. I like it. Straight up, simple, great synergy with Skellige. I like this. Moving a greatsword would make this like an 18 or 19, depending on the round in the veteran. Moving like a random 5 or 6, like a 7, like a tier 6 skirmisher makes this a 13. In battle, Yara Ul is a force to be reckoned with, drawing strength from the warriors who fight by his side. I really like this one, because it has some great synergies. Well, let's see if the ChatGPT recognized this. Yara Ul the Mighty's ability to mill a bronze Skellige unit and boost himself by its base power reflects his prowess in battle, his ability to draw strength from the warriors who fight alongside him. Okay. With proper deck building and strategic play, it could be a key card in shaping the outcome of matches for Skellige faction. That's true. It also says Yara Ul the Mighty would likely be considered a strong card in Gwent, particularly within Skellige decks that focus on discard mechanics. I don't know about that so much, the discard part. His ability to strengthen himself and synergize with the faction's thematic identity offers significant value and depth to Skellige players. Sure, I like this one. Moving a greatsword is actually really good. Like getting, like a round 1, it's like 16 for 11. Round 2, like it has the veteran. And I really like this because it gives synergy to like the Svangri type decks where you put something in your graveyard, then Svangri is boosted by it. You can banish it with Yalmar for a bunch of damage. I actually really love this idea. And I think it's really, really good. I think it's about in the same tier as this guy. I don't think this is quite broken. It'd be incredibly strong. It might need a little small adjustments, but it's not like these guys, right? Like, deploy Seize, you can't really have that. And make 4 traps, one of which is crushing, so double crushing for 4 damage on a row. I think this card's actually really cool. I like this one. What's next? Aridan, King of the Wild Hunt. You can't have it. It just has to be Aridan, right? So 11 provision, 7 power. A little weirdness going on with the art here with his sword, but whatever. It's fine. Spectre Wild Hunt. He should be an elf, but we'll give him a pass here. 7 power, 11 provisions. This is very similar to Aridan Brakglas, the one that does Frost. I say Frost. Here's Frost right here. Deploy Spawn Frost on enemy row for 3 turns instead of 2, compared to other Aridan. Whenever a unit appears on the frosted row, thanks their chat GPT. I might have copy and pasted that wrong, to be fair. I probably copy pasted it wrong. Let me go check. All right, so ChatGPT says it's on a frosted row. On a frosted row. So the doesn't exist. Sorry about that. I made these the other day, and I just went through really quick without trying to read like too much into it, so I'd have a better reaction to the cards. Because I didn't really want to read them all through and then just like pretend to react later. I just tried to copy and paste them without reading what it said. So that's how this got in here. Anyway, so we have deploy Frost for 3 turns. When unit appears on a frosted row, damage it by 1. Bow before the King of the Wild Hunt, for death follows in his wake, and none can escape the frost of the hunt. So compared to regular Aridan, it's an extra turn of Frost, which is 2 more value, doesn't require dominance, and when an enemy unit enters the frosted row, takes a damage. So both Aridans give Frost. Both Aridans have bonus damage with the Frost. Aridan, the other one with dominance, does an extra damage, so 3 instead of 2. This one does when a unit appears on the frosted row, it does 1, just an extra ping damage to it. This is really, really good. Like, the extra turn of Frost is quite good over Aridan. It's probably worth the 1 provision. And then the frosted row, I guess this is better than the 3 from Aridan. The one that's currently in Gwent. Because it doesn't rely on dominance. And you can trigger it more often. Like, you can move stuff with Bruiser and things. And the leader charge. Overall, the design process for Aridan, King of the Wild Hunt, aimed to capture the thematic essence of his character while creating a card that is impactful and true to the source material. His ability to invoke Frost adds strategic depth to monsters' decks, while his powerful presence in the battlefield reflects his status as a fearsome leader of the Wild Hunt. Random side note, I love the White Frost in the books concept. Those of you who don't know, I don't want to spoil it, but I just love it so much. Compared to like the games and things. So it's Aridan, King of the Wild Hunt, likely considered a strong card, particularly with context of the Monsters faction. So it thinks all the cards it made are strong. I don't know if it understands strong versus like, too strong. I specifically asked it not to make the cards too strong, but we'll see. Anyway, where does he fall on the tier list? I don't think he's actually super broken. The extra pings are good. Aridan's already pretty good, but you don't see Aridan played outside of Frost decks, so it wouldn't be like a ubiquitous monsters card in every faction. Probably not. But in regular Frost, it might be a little too good. I'll put him up here. Kind of like Yara Ul. I think it might need like a slight readjustment, but overall, I like him. I like the idea there. I think he belongs in excellent. Northern Realms, what do we got for you? Banner of Valor. Oh, we have an artifact. I love that. We've had like mainly units. Have we had a non-unit? I think we've had only units. So this is great. We got an artifact. Banner of Valor. Warfare. Hey, they got the tag right. I love it. 10 provisions. Okay, 10 provision artifact. Better have some crazy effect. And it's in Northern Realms. So deploy boost an allied unit by 4. Okay, that's not a great start. If it's a Northern Realms unit, boosted by additional 3. Okay, so deploy boost a unit by 7. Good synergies with Northern Realms. Good synergies with duels and stuff. Maybe Veraxis. Protect something getting damaged. At the end of at the end of your turn, if there are Northern Realms units in your hand, boost a random 1/1. Okay. If not, boost a random Northern Realms unit in your deck instead. Okay. This one's interesting. The deploy boost 7 is kind of like it's a tempo effect, right? So it's not that bad that you play it. And then it does a hand buff 1 per turn. No resilience on this. And if not, deck boost 1 per turn. Huh. I like this way more than Mutagenerator, which is the immediate comparison. Because they both do deck buffing, and they both have a tempo effect. Mutagenerator with its melee row effect, where you boost everything the same provisions. And this one with the 7 boost. So theoretically, at most, this plays for 7, and then you can get 9 turn. Well, you'd have to have a unit out, so I guess you could leader spawn a token, but most of the time you're just going to play a unit, then play this. So at most, this gets 8 turns, and it could boost the turns out. So yeah, 9 turns. This plays boost 7, 9 random points of boost in your hand or in your deck. I like this way more than Mutagenerator, and compared to it, I think this is worse than Mutagenerator. And Mutagenerator is crazy. So I think this is actually just like a good card. Well, actually, we're supposed to read it. Let's read what he says. I call ChatGPT he, apparently. The Banner of Valor is designed to play a supportive role in the Northern Realms decks, providing significant boost to an allied unit upon deployment and offering ongoing value through its ability to boost Northern Realms units at the end of each turn. That's true. The Banner of Valor would likely be considered a strong card in Gwent. The immediate boost can significantly strengthen key units on the board, providing immediate value, potentially swinging the tempo of the game. Its incremental boost effect can then accumulate over time, enhancing the strength of future plays and maintaining pressure on the opponent. Yeah, it's true. Like, having a random 1 point of boost on stuff in your hand, if it's an engine, it's really valuable. You can put it on your dual cards. It's really nice, the extra 1 point. But then again, it's only 1 point per turn and it's random. It doesn't deck boost unless your hand's empty. I also like how if your hand is empty, it still does something. But I don't think this card's crazy. I think it's probably just like a good card. It's a good card. Perfect. This is the type of stuff we're looking for, ChatGPT. Relatively balanced. I like it. What's up next? Syndicate. The Crime Lord's Gambit. Oh, we got a special. This is fantastic. So we got a artifact, and now we got a special. This is what we want to see. So it's 11 provision crime. Again, spot on with that tag. Good to see it. Spawn and play a crime card from your deck. Gain a coin for every 2 crimes committed this match. Huh. In the underworld, every risk taken is an opportunity seized. And the Crime Lord's Gambit always pays off. Interesting. So let's just take a look here. What you're paying 11 provisions for this, which is a fair bit. And it's going to copy a crime from your deck. It's essentially copying a crime from your deck. Because you're spawning and playing one that's in your deck. Hold on a second. Okay, I asked ChatGPT, and it specifies current deck, not starting deck. So this is from your current deck. So that makes it a little trickier to use. Obviously, there's a couple ways you could go about this. The first, this card has so many choices. I love it. All right, let's think about this. So first option is you have one really good crime in your deck you want to play 2 of. The biggest crime is Count Reuben's Treasure is a crime, and then probably Collusion. So Count Reuben's Treasure is not very good, but you could make 2 Count Reuben's Treasures in like Jackpot. That'd be kind of funny. So you could do that. That you'd play early. Then you wouldn't get much for the second effect. You could use it as a second Collusion in Collusion decks. Probably the best spot for this thing. Only problem is it doesn't have a gang tag, so you can't go Sigi, Crime Lord's Gambit. I guess you Crime Lord's Gambit then Sigi, because you'd want the Collusion in your deck still. That's really good synergy. Yeah, Collusion's probably the best spot for this. And then the other option is you just use it as a toolbox. Pick whatever crime you want at the time and get some bonus coins. So 1 coin for every 2 crimes committed. I think it's it says rounded down. Yeah, it says rounded down. It should be rounded down here. But yeah, so if we play 8 crimes throughout the game, 10 crimes, we spawn a crime, get 5 coins. It does require the crime to still be in your deck. If we play a 5 provision crime with 5 extra coins on it, is that worth 11 provisions? Yeah, it probably is, actually. This is a cool one. Let's see what it says. Crime Lord's Gambit spawns and plays a crime card from the player's deck to encourage the execution of criminal strategies, and rewards the player for including a variety of crime cards in their deck. Yeah, like for toolboxing. It reinforces the thematic elements of the Syndicate faction, portraying them as cunning and opportunistic criminals who sees every chance to gain wealth and power. Yeah. And then how good is it? It offers a combination of immediate impact, economic value, and flexibility and synergy potential that could make it a strong and versatile card within the Syndicate faction, contributing to a variety of strategic approaches and enhancing the faction's overall gameplay experience. Yeah, that's all true. I like this one. You can play it early to set up something like a treasure. You can hold it later for a finisher on something like Collusion. Collusion, I think, would be by far the best thing with this, because you just play this, make a Collusion, then you seek a Collusion, and that'd be really good because you get the bonus crimes too. But that being said, I think this just falls right in good. Like, this is a good card. It costs enough that the extra coins it generates compared to the crime in your deck is a nice offset, but if you play it early, you're paying those coins. Like, you're losing out on potential for later on, but it does give you flexibility, and it could make a big finisher card like Collusion or Treasure. I like this. It might even let you see Tavern Brawl. They probably not, but that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I think this is just like a good card. I think this one and the banner are pretty well designed and balanced. So we're left with only one card, and it's a neutral card. The last neutral card was broken beyond belief. It kept its own tier up here. Arcane Scribe. Please have done better this time, ChatGPT. Please be better. The Arcane Sage. Oh, there's a name synergy. The name similarity is not giving me hope. 4 power, 9 provisions, human. Deploy. Oh, you guys read this? You guys reading this? Draw a special card from your deck. If it's a neutral, boost self by its provision cost. They made a better Arcane Scribe. I did this in 2 different sessions, so it shouldn't have remembered the other cards. Okay, let's see. Knowledge is power, and Arcane Sage wields both with mastery. Yeah, mastery of the entire game of Gwent. Voice line. The secrets of the cosmos are within our grasp. Okay. This is ridiculous. So let's just say, let's just use like the most basic example that you run a heat wave in your deck. You run heat wave in your deck. You play this, it gives you an automatic card advantage by drawing a special and not putting anything back or discarding. It just straight up gives you a 1 card advantage. If it's a neutral card, it boosts up by the Persian cost. So you just play this, draw heat wave. This is a 14 for 9. It's a 14 for 9 point slam that gives you a +1 card advantage and tutors specials from your deck. If you're playing non-neutrals, obviously you can it'd still be broken if it's just drew the special card. Okay, come on, ChatGPT. I specifically said not to make them too strong. What do you have to? How you can defend this one? Arcane Sage is designed to provide utility and card advantage to decks of any faction. Yeah, by being in every deck of every faction. By allowing players to draw a special card from the deck onto deployment, this helps players access key special cards and enhances their overall strategy. The ability for Arcane Sage to potentially boost itself by the Persian cost of the drawn special card, incentivizes players to include a variety of powerful special cards in their deck from the neutral faction. Everyone loves when that happens, because it's always Arcane, and it's always Heatwave, and those decks are really annoying. The Arcane ones in particular. But yeah, I mean, this is, alright. Let's see how strong ChatGPT thought this was. Arcane Sage has, quote, the potential to be a strong card. The potential to be a strong card. Yeah, and I have the potential to be rich if I get $1 billion. That's the kind of potential we're talking about here. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Particularly within certain deck archetypes. No, within every deck and every archetype. Wild Hunt care about Devotion? Nah, not if Arcane Scribe exists. You can't play Devotion if this card's in the game. You literally can't. Okay, it offers a combination of card advantage, utility, and potential power boosts to make it a strong addition to decks so you can control the board, generate value, capitalize on specific strategies. So you're telling me that it's a strong addition to decks that control the board, so it's strong for control decks. generate value. So it's strong for engine decks, or capitalites on specific synergy, so it's strong for mid-range decks. So you're telling me this is strong for every deck in the game. And you're right. Where's my tier list? Broken beyond belief. Come on, chat GPT. What's up with the neutrals being OP? It's not like the last year of CDPR's design. I'm not trying to knock those guys at all. Card design's hard. But yeah, I mean, it just reminds me of like the Aridan Golden Necker expansion concept where neutrals get the best cards. Here's the real question though. Is Arcane, let's order them within the tiers a little bit, just for funds. Alright, is Arcane Sage better than Arcane Scribe? No. Actually, Arcane Scribe is still better. If you guys don't remember, this thing draws you a special card and boosts yourself by 2 if it's an alchemy. It gives you the same +1 card advantage. It's a bronze, so you can replay it more easily. And it's way cheaper at 5. The point slam on this is good, but I think you just play them both. This is better. This card's better than this Broken Sage, which is hilarious. What's in the Broken tier? This is the Seize, and this is the Spawn 4 Traps. Interesting. I think these are very close in power level. If I had deploy Seize an enemy unit, or would I rather have deploy and make the traps? I think this one's possible. These are very close. I think this one might be a little better. The ceiling on this one's higher, but they go tall, this one's higher. They're both very good in specific situations. I think generally this one's more flexible. No, this one's more flexible too. You can steal their engines. I would rather go against the traps than this guy, I think. Because there's more interaction. The traps just... They have so much damage involved. I think that... Broken... Gotta pick one. These are both crazy. Let's go with this one. These are both really good. I'm not too sure about which one of these is stronger. Excellent. I think you're the best in excellent. I think this... For those of you who don't know, this guy looks at the top 3 cards of your deck and moves one to the bottom. Then boosts self by its provision cost if it's a special. I think he's better than these guys. It thins your deck while point slamming for 9 at minimum if you see a bronze. But if you move a big gold card, it can be like point slam 18 or something. So I think this is better. Just on fact it's a bronze than these guys. I think you are better than him, though. In the good tier, we've got the Northern Realms banner, this guy, and this guy. I think this ordering's right. I like this ordering. Playable tier, yeah, this is good, good. So this is what we're going with for our tier list. If you guys really enjoy these videos, I might keep adding to it. We will see. We will see. But real quick now, what we got to do is go back and do speedrun balance again. And how would he fix these cards? All right, let's go. Most of these need to be nerfs rather than anything else. So let's start. Imperator Janus. He needs to damage the unit by more. So I like the idea of taking the enemy unit. It punishes being tall. I think you should damage the unit by like 6 or something. So you could either kill the unit or seize it, but make the seize not as impactful by damaging it. And his base power is too high, right? This would have to be like 3, and then move a unit and damage it. Maybe damage by 4. And then remove the spying damage completely. I think you just remove the spying damage, make him weaker, and try and benefit from giving the card spying before you seize it. It's kind of like Vatier then, where you like and seize a card with the disloyal card or whatever. He's obviously still way too strong. So I think maybe just deploy, move it, and damage it by 6. Something like that. Well, a 3 power. And he's way too cheap. This card is broken. So maybe something like that. Forest Guardian, I think we just make him spell a Crushing Trap and a Pitfall Trap. And then maybe make him a little less power, a little more provisions. I think that's fine. I think the doubling up on the traps is kind of insane. I think if you gave like 1 and 1 with a little bit of adjustment, he could be fine. Because traps aren't very good. Yeah, I think make a Crushing Trap and a Pitfall Trap. 1 on either side. And then maybe make him like 13 or 12. And then maybe like 5 power. That could be work. He cannot be replayable by Heist, though. Which he isn't right now, so that's fine. Next up, we have Yara Ul the Mighty. I kind of think he's fine. He's good tempo. He's good point slam on discarding a greatsword. I'm okay with that. Like, maybe you say he needs a provision or lose a power. Probably a provision. But, like, I think this card's mostly fine. Aridan, King of the Wild One. This card conflicts too much with Aridan Break Glass. It conflicts too much. I think it should be more leaning away from that dominance, maybe. So maybe we make his power lower. Actually, you know what would probably make this card the most fair? Is if we just took away the 3 turns of Frost and made it 2. Just make this 2 turns of Frost. And then Aridan's a 10, right? Yeah, make this 2 turns of Frost and then leave this. That's a little better than Aridan's ability. It's 1 more provision, so maybe it's worth it. You play them both together. Make him an elf, obviously. I think that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, we just give this guy 2 turns of Frost, I think. Either that or we really lean into the Frost aspect of him and just make his power lower. Like 5 power or something, so he doesn't have the dominance aspect of the other one. I think I'd rather do that. Make his power lower, but have him lean more into the Frost. I like that idea. That's what we'll do. Banner of Valor, I actually kind of think is just fine how it is. I think this card's just fine. Maybe it, like, deploy, like, boosting a card isn't amazing. Boost 7, and then you get 8 turns of hand. That's at most, like, 15 value over. Yeah, this card's fine. I just leave this card. Good job with this one, ChatGPT. And we leave this one too. The only thing is the rounding with the coins might be a pain. But yeah, I think we just leave this one also. I think this one's fine too. Okay, great. How do we balance Arcane Sage? Cards can't draw cards in Gwent without some ridiculous restriction. Right? Like, you've got Siri Dash. It has to be alive for like 4 turns. It's kind of mill setup. You just can't have the drawing. In the last one, I tried to balance the Arcane Scribe without changing its ability. We can't do that here. Come on. I mean, realistically, if we're trying to balance this without changing the card's ability, he has to be like a 1 for 15. And it's still probably too good. If this was a 1 for 15, would I play it? Yeah, I would. Definitely. Especially in Erendite decks. So you just play this, and it's an 11 for 15 that draws you a card. Yeah, this card's ridiculous. The ability has to change. If it drew a special card from your deck and then boosted itself by friction cost, I think it just has to, like, discard a card. Or put a card back or something. Even then, it's still too good. Like, special tutoring's amazing. This is broken. This card's broken beyond belief, too. I don't know. Anyway, let's... Yeah, probably just 1 power, 9 provisions, and then it puts a card back. That might be okay. It'd probably be still too good. Well, whatever. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this other one. This was fun to make once again. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot more fun making these AI cards than I thought I would. So, we might come revisit it in the future. The last video got like a decent amount of views. Not a ton, but like it did alright. But it took a lot of effort to make. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much you guys like these. If you guys comment enough, say you like it enough, get enough likes or whatever, I'll probably do another one. We'll say, like, if the video gets, like, I don't know, 150 likes, we'll make another one. How's that sound? Sounds good to me. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this. I had some fun with it. Let me know in the comments, which of these cards would you like to play with? Like, which of these would you actually like to see maybe come into the game? Obviously, it can't happen, but if one could, which one would you pick? Let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. That'll be it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. And you can check out some more videos over here. And thanks for watching.